very happy to be the first in the line of speakers today. And today I'm going to be talking about dance. So can everybody hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So first I'm going to be talking about Bharatanatyam. Second, I'm going to be talking about a play I acted in last year. And third, I'm going to be talking about a dance piece I choreographed. So I started Bharatanatyam when I was 7 years old. My teacher is Sujanti, and Paresh Uncle might know her very well, and also our MCs because they're her sons, and Sarvan Uncle, our camera person. So I know her very well because I've been learning dance from her for 7 years. In dance, we go to many competitions, like for example, Drishya. Drishya comes around every year, and we've been competing in Drishya for 5 years. And 2 of the times we won first place, which I'm very proud of. But this year we didn't win first place or even place at all. But that's okay because we always have next year. It was pretty disappointing, but that's okay. We have 6 people in our dance group, including our very good friend Soleil, who will be speaking right after me. She's also a very good dancer. And we have dance class every Friday for 1 hour. Sometimes it extends to 1.5 hours. So we go home at 8 o'clock really exhausted, and our legs feel like wet noodles, and our hands feel like snapping twigs. So I really like Bharatanatyam, but even more than Bharatanatyam, I like to dance freestyle, like loosening up and not being all stiff. But even though I like Bharatanatyam and even though I like freestyle dancing, Bharatanatyam gives you structure and rules, which is very important. So next, I'm going to be speaking about a play I acted in last year. In 7th grade, I acted in a play called Hairspray. Who knows the play Hairspray? You can raise your hands. Okay, who doesn't? So if you know the play, can you guys raise your hands if you like it and rate it from 1 to 10? Okay, everyone hold up fingers from 1 to 10. Okay, great. So if you don't know this play, I'm going to tell you a little bit about it. So it took place in the 1960s, and it's about segregation. It's about a girl named Tracy Turnblad who auditions for a show named The Corny Collins Show, and she gets in. She becomes an overnight celebrity, a trendsetter for fun, fashion, and dance, especially. And her main goal in the movie is to bring racial integration into the show so everybody can show off their dance talents and also their singing talents. In the play, I played one of the 3 Dynamites, who were one of the famous dance trios in the 1960s. They got their song stolen by the Corny Collins Show, and that's what Tracy Turnblad tried to fix. And our dance choreographer was a sophomore in the Andover High School. Her name was Maddie, and she choreographed all the dance pieces for our show. And she also choreographed all the dance pieces for our show this year, which was Charlie Brown. Charlie Brown was really exciting, and we also did Charlie Brown 3 weeks ago for 3 days. And it was a really great show, even though we had like technical difficulties. That's okay, we made a really good show. And in 6th grade, she also choreographed all the dance pieces for High School Musical, which I wasn't in, but 2 of my friends were. So next, I'm going to be talking about a dance piece I choreographed for Diwali. Does anyone like Diwali? Because everyone loves Diwali, right? It's a really fun festival. I choreographed a dance piece for my sister and her friend. My sister is also going to be performing today, and I hope her speech is really good. Well, I know her speech is really good.
No pressure.
Yeah, no pressure. But in Diwali, we choreographed a dance for my sister and her friend, and I mixed 3 Tamil songs together on GarageBand, which is a tool I learned how to use in 7th grade. It's a really good tool because I got to mix rhythms and beats together, and it was really fun. And I used GarageBand to mix these 3 Tamil songs together, And the first step in the process was learning, making the steps. Making the steps was pretty simple because I usually just listen to the rhythm of the song and make the steps pretty easily. And I wanted to tell you a funny story when I was a little kid. So when I was 1.5 years old, I still did not know how to walk. That may be really surprising because I was 1.5 and I did not know how to walk. You might have thought I crawled around the house, but that wasn't true. I actually walked on my knees, not on all fours. My knees, that's why I have so many bruises on my knees. Yeah. And it took 15 months for me to learn how to walk like a normal person. And it was a lot of hard work for my grandparents and my parents. So, why did the little kid dance on top of the jar of jam? Does anyone know the answer?
Jenny?
No. Jenny, raise your hand.
Spin the cap.
No, it was because it said twist to open. Get it? So getting back to the choreography, now it was a hard step in the process, which was teaching the kids. It wasn't all that impossible because there was only 2 of them. But the hard part was that once I taught them a step and I taught them the next step, I would have to go all the way back to the other step again because they would forget it. And then I have to review it like 5 times. And they also would compare their mistakes and see who did more mistakes or who did less. But in the end, they made me really proud, and I was really happy they performed on stage and did a really great job. So I was so proud that they were my first choreography and they did really well. So today I talked about Bharatanatyam, I talked about a play I acted in, and I talked about a dance piece I choreographed. So does anybody have any questions? Yeah?
What are the other Indian classical dance forms that you know about?
Bollywood. Oh, as like the young lady asked, I know Bollywood. I think that's about it. I really like Bollywood dancing. Does that answer your question? Does anyone else have any questions? Yes?
Why did you choose this topic?
Because I really like dance. As the young lady asked, I really like dance, and I've been doing dance for a long time, and that's why I picked this topic. Does that answer your question? Great. So dance has always been my thing, and more than even volleyball or any other sport I've tried, I would never quit dance because it makes me feel alive. So thank you for your time. And next up,